Hello and welcome back, everybody. My name is TheAireaidLord. This is another Halo 5 predictions and desire video for my top 5 list of things that I want in Halo 5. Last time we did the top 5 overall changes that I want to Halo 5. This time we are going to do the top 5 weapons that I want in both the campaign and the multiplayer of Halo 5. Just to preface, the gameplay you're seeing right now is multiplayer gameplay that I took from the Halo 5 beta, as well as some cool Halo 3 gameplay that I did just randomly. There was I went on a 26 kill spree with a warthog, which was pretty ridiculous. I went on a killing frenzy and did some cool things, and yeah, so you can sit back and enjoy that gameplay. So I just wanted to go over some weapons that I want to return. These weapons in particular, I just want to preface as well that these are weapons that were in previous Halo games, but were not in Halo 4. Okay, all of the weapons that I'm going to mention in this video right now were not in Halo 4, and I want them to be in Halo 5, and I think they would make a nice addition to Halo 5. Now, some weapons that we did see in the beta that returned was the SMG. Now, not the same as the SMG from Halo 3 where you could dual wield it, but still, I liked it when I used it in the beta. It had a nice feel to it. You can aim down the sights with it. It did feel like the Halo 2 SMG with a little bit of power towards it, which I really liked, so I'm glad that they brought that back. But there were some weapons that were in Halo 3 and Halo Reach from back in the good old days when 343, wasn't actually making Halo games and they were established. There were some weapons from those games that I liked that I thought should be reintroduced into the 343 Halo universe. And let's start with number 5. We're going to start with the plasma rifle. Now, the plasma rifle is a classic weapon that has been around in almost every single Halo game. It was in Halo 1. It's actually been, I think it's been in every single Halo game except Halo 4. It was in Halo 1, 2, 3. It was in ODST, but they called it the plasma rifle even though it was the red version that the brutes used. And then it was in Reach, but there was also the plasma repeater, which was almost like an assault rifle version of a plasma rifle, and it was operated differently, but they kept both weapons. There was a plasma rifle and a plasma repeater, which was kind of strange. I was actually thinking that they would kind of switch off and only use one or the other. But they kept one, or they kept both of them. And in Halo 4, we saw the introduction of the Storm Rifle, which is kind of like the Plasma Repeater, but it has a kind of a different feel to it. It doesn't really shoot plasma rounds. It kind of shoots different kinds of rounds, and it has a different feel to it. And I don't necessarily like the weapon just for the way it feels. It feels like they took the ridicule of an assault rifle and put it on almost like a plasma repeater / plasma rifle, and then we had the storm rifle. I don't really prefer it as a weapon. I like the feel of the plasma rifle. It almost had like a long range feel. The ridicule was kind of unique to it. In every Halo game it was kind of different. In Halo 2 and 3 you could dual wield it. Halo 1 you couldn't. There was no dual wielding in Halo 1. Halo Reach, you had it, but it wasn't necessarily a gun you went to that often. It was just maybe if you didn't have much ammo, you picked it up. It didn't really have much of a purpose. What I'm looking for, maybe just like they brought back the SMG, maybe they can bring back the plasma rifle and maybe give it, maybe when you aim down the sights, it has a bit of range to it. I don't know. I would really like to see that weapon return. Okay, number 4 on the list is the Mauler. This was a one-time only weapon. It only appeared in Halo 3, and technically it also appeared in ODST, if you want to count that as a game. This is a shotgun. This is a brute shotgun that appears when you fight the brutes. You can dual-wield this weapon in Halo 3. It's actually really powerful in multiplayer, especially when you dual-wield this weapon, because I think the clip size is about 20 shots, and when you dual-wield it, it can vary. And this gun has the power of a shotgun. If you have 2 of them, it has just as much power as a shotgun. Now, individually, if you shoot someone at close range with this thing, at least in the multiplayer, it will take down their shields entirely, but the tactic is to shoot them at close range. They have no shield, and then follow up with a melee attack, and then you will get the kill. That's the general strategy for using the Mauler as a close-range weapon. I liked using it in Halo 3, especially on some maps where you had almost like the Pit, if anyone remembers the Pit in the multiplayer map, where you had the energy sword, you had the shotguns on both sides, and the Mauler was a weapon you could use if you were in a situation of being, if the other team was taking all the power weapons. That might be a good weapon to kind of even the playing field, give you a slight advantage if you knew how to use it properly. Obviously, with the loss of the brutes in Halo 4, the fact that we didn't actually have them as an adversary in Halo 4, there was really no reason to keep the Mauler around. Now, I did discuss in my last video that I was hoping for the brutes to make a return in Halo 5, and I also discussed the reason why the gravity hammer was in Halo 4, particularly because people liked the Griffball mode that was introduced in Halo 3, so I'm almost certain they kept the gravity hammer in Halo 4 primarily because of Griffball. I feel like if Griffball wasn't such a big thing, the gravity hammer would not have been in Halo 4. Because the gravity hammer is a weapon that is wielded by the chieftains of the brutes, and there were absolutely no brutes in Halo 4, so to have the weapon didn't make that much sense. So, but I do understand in a multiplayer sense why they did it. So that's number 4. Number 3 would be the plasma launcher. Now, this was a gun that was introduced in Halo Reach. It's also a one-time only deal because it only appeared in Halo Reach. This is the Covenant equivalent of the grenade launcher. The plasma launcher could, if you held it down, it could shoot a total of 4 plasma grenade shots that could lock on to the target the longer you held it down. It was effective for sticking grenades to people. It took a bit longer than a normal plasma grenade stick, but it was still effective. The gun, it depleted by, I think, increments of 15 when you shot a plasma grenade launch. Obviously, the more shots you shoot if you hold down the trigger for longer, the more ammunition you're going to use up. Yeah, you could use this gun against a vehicle. You could use it against a human player just by, holding it down. It was a bit tricky because you did have to time it. You had to time how many grenades you were charging up with where the person was, and then once you saw how many grenades you charged up, you had to kind of calculate, oh, where's the person? Is 2 grenades too much? It was kind of like a wait and see game, but the gun did require skill in the multiplayer, and that's why I kind of liked being able to use it. And there was a grenade launcher in Halo 4, although it's not the same grenade launcher that was in Halo Reach. In Halo Reach, there was a grenade launcher that kind of reflected off of surfaces, and it could also be used as kind of like an EMP kind of device to disable vehicles. The one in Halo 4 is a sticky launcher. It's not the same grenade launcher from Halo Reach. It's a sticky launcher that can stick to people, stick to surfaces, and it's a timed explosive. It's still got this kind of the same concepts of the grenade launcher from Halo Reach, although, in my opinion, and I think most people will agree, the Halo 4 grenade launcher does way more damage and is a bit more effective than the grenade launcher in Halo Reach. Sometimes the one in Halo Reach doesn't really do all that much damage, and you kind of got to shoot it at least 2 or 3 times to get the kill. It's kind of, tactful in Halo Reach. You can use it to reflect off surfaces. But I kind of want the plasma launcher to return, just to get back to that topic. I think the plasma launcher was a decent weapon. I definitely think it could have made a return in Halo 4. There's no reason why, it couldn't have. I just think 343 got to a capacity with certain weapons, and they wanted to include some and get rid of others. But I think the plasma launcher should make a return, whether, a grunt is using it, a brute's using it. I know some chieftains in Halo Reach use that weapon. So yeah, I hope that gun makes a return. The second gun that I want to return is the focus rifle, and let me clarify in saying that I want the focus rifle to return, but I want the beam rifle to also be in Halo 5 as well, because in Halo Reach, the focus rifle replaced the beam rifle entirely. The focus rifle was not even technically a sniper rifle, even though it had the zoom features and the scope of a sniper rifle, of the beam rifle specifically. The focus rifle shot a concentrated beam of energy, and it took a while. You had to constantly be hitting your target in order for it to achieve a kill. Some people didn't like the weapon just because of how long it took for the weapon to actually get a kill. I guess in the Legendary campaign it's a good thing because all of the Jackal snipers either have the Needler rifle or they have the beam rifle, or not the beam rifle, the focus rifle. And so there were no like one-hit kills like in Halo 2 or Halo 3. The Jackals that have the beam rifle, if they shoot you once on Legendary, that's an instant kill and you're dead. So at least on Halo Reach they make it a tad bit easier because the focus rifle isn't a one-hit kill. You know, even if you shoot someone in the head, you got to be shooting them in the head for, you know, at least a couple of seconds in order to rack up a kill. It wasn't a fan favorite weapon, but I would still like the weapon around. Maybe if 343 did something different, maybe made the weapon a little bit more powerful. Maybe if it was a one-hit kill, like if it shot like a couple of energy particle beams and it killed someone, maybe that would be really cool. Maybe change it up a little bit. Maybe it was kind of a weaker weapon in Halo Reach. People didn't really like it, but maybe if you change it up in Halo 5, add some improvements to it, it might actually be a fan favorite. Okay? Now the last weapon, number one, the number one weapon I want in Halo 5 is the flamethrower. And I know that this is a bit of a long shot, but I'm hoping that this weapon returns because it was only in Halo 3. Flame-based weapons were only introduced in Halo 3, and then technically they were in ODST as well. But the flamethrower was actually a really powerful weapon. If you shot just a little bit of flamer fuel onto somebody and they had a little bit of shield life, the residual damage would actually kill the person. It was actually very easy to get kills from the grave with a flamethrower. It put you into a third-person mode, made you move a little bit slow. The gun didn't have the greatest turning radius, but it was definitely useful. There were a couple of multiplayer maps where the weapon was utilized, Construct being the biggest one that stands out to me. I use that weapon, especially when people liked to camp the lifts in Construct, or if people were camping with an energy sword, I could just use the flamethrower and just, even if they took me down, I could just fucking lay on the trigger and hope that I get a kill from the grave. I liked it. It was a good weapon. And I know in Halo 4 you had the turret and the plasma turret as detachable third-person weapons. So third-person weapons, or third-person turrets, did still exist. They still existed in Halo 4 ever since they were introduced in Halo 3. You had the missile pod, which was another weapon. I'm not technically... I don't know if I really want that weapon to return, because we've already got the rocket launcher, and I think that's that's good enough for a explosive-based weapon. Plus, if they intend on having the grenade launcher make a return, I think there's really no reason to have a missile pod kind of thing return in the game. But I would like the flamethrower just because it's a unique weapon. I think Halo 5 needs more unique weapons for it to feel more like a Halo game, you know? That was the whole concept behind Halo 3. That's why Halo 3's multiplayer is my favorite, because you had so many different weapons, Spartan lasers, plasma rifles, flamethrowers, the assault rifle, which everyone uses, the battle rifle if you want to be tactful. Like, there were just so many choices, and it was all about how you use those choices, interesting combinations that people could do from all those choices. That was what made Halo 3, in my opinion, the greatest multiplayer. And I think if Halo 5 wants to capitalize upon that, they need to kind of go for that diverse route, And already, like I said, the SMG has made a comeback, and we have seen some other weapons that made a comeback, like the light rifle. One of the Promethean weapons is returning. I'm assuming most of the Promethean weapons will make a return, considering they're like the main antagonist of the new Halo, series from 343. I'm assuming that the Promethean weapons will be a staple in the games from now on. So yeah, it's basically just the Covenant and human weapons that we saw in the old Halo games, whether or not they will make a return in the new one. So yeah, that is my top 5 picks for the 5 weapons that I would like in Halo 5. That's my top 5. If you have a top 5 list, be sure to write it in the comments below. I will probably do another one of these. I'm thinking of doing the top 5 vehicles that I would like to return in Halo 5. That's going to be the next Halo 5 anticipation vlog. Yeah, I plan on doing a couple more of these. I got a good turnout for the first one, and I really enjoy doing them, since the Halo series holds a special place in my heart. And I really like it, and I want to see Halo 5 succeed. And especially with all of the changes that 343 made to the Halo 5 multiplayer for the beta, with taking out custom classes and all the changes that they made, it's really going in the right direction, and that has given me a bit of anticipation and steam to see Halo 5 really succeed. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you for future content. Peace out.